Yesterday that we'll always remember. The yesterday that took away tomorrow.
Unprecedented day.
Sports has stopped.
A global pandemic.
Laying waste to almost the entirety of the sports schedule.
Like that, the road closed and the dream died. We were left with fragments, a story without a plot. There was no flag, no final huddle, and no finish.
A team of destiny indeed!
No lion to ring in the roaring 20s, and no charging tiger of rebellion. No red scare, and no orange crush. No last hurrah, and no proper farewell. Just emptiness, loneliness, and darkness. But from the shadows of darkness comes the promise of dawn. So we can dwell on what never was, or dare to dream on a new day. Sure, it'll look different. It'll feel different. It'll be different. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has returned. And today we play. And aren't we excited to be playing today? A top 5 matchup to kick off the weekend. Number 5 Denver, number 1 Duke. With Quint Kesnick and Ish Schroff, we're calling this one remotely, but we're glad we can call Lacrosse and Q medicine game. Those are going to be the two big words all season.
Lacrosse is the medicine to get outside, to throw the ball around, to run, to score, to hit, to feel emotions. Playing lacrosse today for these athletes offers physical and mental benefits.
We're going to see a Duke team that is Voltron on paper, and boy, did they add some big-time talent in the offseason.
Michael Sowers, graduate transfer from Princeton, hyper speed. Quickness like I've never seen. IQ, he's a chess master. Passes and vision, uncanny. Fierce, he's a great teammate. And what I love in Ish, it's all improv. It's unscripted and on the fly. You never know what's next. Last year, he put up numbers that I've never seen. 9.4 points per game. He's joined by Brennan O'Neill, freshman, St. Anthony's, Long Island. The most hyped freshman recruit in NCAA history. Why? Well, eye-popping high school and club lacrosse highlights. You mix that with social media, and this 6'2", 230-pound monster is like Zion Williamson walking into Durham.
On the flip side for Denver, they went to the transfer portal, got a good one from Yale in Jackson Morrill.
Morrill, right side of your screen, a terrific passer. He'll be the quarterback of this Pioneer offense, does a lot of his work from behind the goal. Well, he'll be looking for Ethan Walker, left-handed sniper from Canada, graduate senior as well. He can rip corners as he did, 2 years ago here against Duke.
It's the opening face-off, number 5 against number 1. You've got the two winningest coaches in Division I on the sideline. New face-off rules, which we'll get into. And we are underway from Koskinen Stadium. Knocked out of bounds by Duke. It will be Denver ball to begin. The Pioneers already one game under their belt, a close scare against Utah last weekend. J.J. Silstrup, the sophomore, with a SportsCenter top 10 goal last week. Leading a Pioneers offense that only scored 1 goal in the first half a week ago against the Utes.
Look at Duke pressing out on all their matchups.
Duke has depth, and then more depth, and then more depth on top of that. Here is Ted Sullivan, senior out of Tucson. Feeding inside, and it comes to Mike Adler, the goalie for Duke. 3-year starter at St. Joe's. Duke went heavy in the transfer portal, brought in some impact players, not just Michael Sowers. And the Blue Devils able to clear. First touch on offense, that's Brennan O'Neill, number 34. Over to Dyson Williams, and we'll see how Denver plays the great Sowers. First midfield for Duke, Cam Badour, Sean Lowry, and Owen Caputo, 13 and white, had a 6-point game against Denver last year. And there is the first touch for 23 and white, Michael Sowers. Now it's the freshman O'Neill. thought about the crank. Sowers inverting. Sowers to O'Neal. He's a lefty. Dyson Williams, the Canadian, shot blocked by Kyle Smith. Denver's got a couple of good shorties in Smith and Danny Logan. Now Sowers from X, where he is so dangerous, has his man hung up. Still plenty of time on the shot clock, which had reset. Now Sowers will attack. Hanglin taking away that inside roll. Here comes O'Neal. And Brennan O'Neal, the freshman, Strong Island in the house.
Welcome to the show. Sowers, eyes up. O'Neal, use of the body. Look at him lean in. He's a truck. I'm telling you, he's a truck. 6'2", 230. We watched him at the high school level just roll through defenders like he's a bowling ball around pins. Now that margin in niche has shrunken now that he's in college. But you see, that's a freshman body right there. Look at his quads. Look at his shoulders. You better D him up and get to his hips and his shoulders. He is a man. He's a linebacker with agility and a lacrosse stick.
Bill Tierney, Denver's head coach, told us he might have been the best high school player that Tierney has ever seen in all his years of college lacrosse. Alex Stathakis had the face-off won. Denver's going to trot out Stathakis, Brett Bowes at the face-off X, but Q, they might be getting a big-time reinforcement in the near future.
T.D. Erlin out of Yale. Apparently going to transfer to Denver. Eligible probably in the March 19th, March 20th range. It's unofficial.
Coach Tierney Denver can say is that the recruiting.
Coach Tierney could not talk to us about it. Just so unfortunate for Yale and apparently the other Ivies. We'll see how that develops over the next couple of weeks.
Sam Dwinell, part of the second midfield for Denver, working against Braden Burke. Now Sullivan feeding X. There is Silstrop.
This is an offense. They want to attack to get topside.
And J.J. Silstrop does just that. And the sophomore out of California ties it at 1.
Double team on the wing. Silstrop tries it right-handed. It's not there. Curls left-handed, and he's able to get topside. Again, it's topside, inside, or feeds to the backside for this offensive group under the direction of Matt Brown, their offensive coordinator.
Silstrop a season ago, 10 goals on 20 shots. And we get our first face-off violation. It is against Duke. These new rules are going to be interesting. You can't use the old motorcycle grip now when they're gripping their sticks at the face-off X, almost as if you're doing a bicep curl. Can't get down on a knee anymore, Quint. It changes the equation.
SNG stands for standing neutral grip.
Ethan Walker on the quick stick. And a couple of quick ones by Denver. The Pios with a 2-1 lead on number 1 Duke.
From Peterborough, Ontario, look at the left-handed handle in traffic. Played at Culver. He's now a graduate student. I spoke to him earlier this week. You know, he had options to play pro indoor. They've recently canceled their season, but he decides to come back for that 5th year. And he is a proven goal scorer. Terrific shooter from range.
He came into this season needing 43 goals to tie Denver's school record held by Wesley Berg. Face-off violation. And that's now 2 on Duke, so Denver controlling the X. And here comes Jack Hanna, 3 for the Pioneers. Senior out of Ohio, was in the midst of a breakout year last year before things shut down. Lucas Kotler, another Yale transfer, part of that championship team a few years ago. Over to his former Eli teammate Jackson Morrill. Yale's second all-time leading scorer behind the former Tewaaraton winner, Ben Reeves. And he's got the short stick matchup.
Paging Dr. Reeves.
That's right. Morrill has an opening, shoots and scores. 3 unanswered by Denver, all in the span of about 90 seconds.
I think you're seeing a team who's coming off a game last week, and that sharpness playing at full speed is apparent here early. What a shot by Morrill. Right-handed, running upfield. I mean, he just torches this corner.
Three straight by Denver. Jackson Morrill, the Yale transfer, 10 national titles. John Danowski has told us that Bill Tierney used to be a customer of his at Yesterday's News, a watering hole in Long Island, and Tierney would come in with his then girlfriend, now wife, and he would drink Shirley Temples, and Bill Tierney said that was probably the last time I set foot in a bar.
He got the girl, Helen, became his wife. She was wonderful. But, you think about the trajectory, Anish, of both of those guys. They started off as high school coaches and teachers in a classroom. And you think about the benefits when you look at the game from a high school standpoint. There's no recruiting, so you have to play whatever system fits your talent. You have to interact with youngsters. And I think that's really been the foundation of who they've become as, without an argument, right now, the 2 best college lacrosse coaches in the country.
Well, a big question for a lot of teams that will face Duke this season: how do you keep the ball away from Duke's offense? How do you defend Duke's offense? Denver has the antidote early. Duke only has 1 possession. Ethan Walker, former Big East Player of the Year. Now it's Dwinell. Skylar Blair into the game. Blair with the short stick matchup against Jake Caputo. Now Morrill. Guarded by Kenny Brower. Less than 15 to shoot. Walker will attack from the wing. Went to his offhand, shot it wide. Backed up by Morrill, only 6 seconds on the shot clock. What do you do, Quint?
If you're Denver and you're up, you probably just roll this ball into the corner.
It looks like they're going to try to make a play. Oh! And did they beat the shot clock? Yes. They did. J.J. Silstrop already a 3-point first quarter, 2 goals and a helper.
You could hear a teammate yelling, "Eat it, eat it, eat it." They don't do that. They jam this ball inside, and I didn't think they would be as aggressive. And look at JT Giles Harris, checks Silstrop, lifts him off the ground, and basically impales him on the turf. Silstrop somehow re-triggers that inside for the 4th Denver goal. What a great start for this sophomore, former Under Armour All-American from La Costa Canyon, California. Talk about the 18 different states represented on this Pioneer roster.
All right, Quint, explain what we're seeing here at the Face-Off X.
Well, okay, standing, no knee down, neutral grip. As you said, it's a curl. You can't do the motorcycle grip or the bench press. So you're seeing the ball raked out, swiped out. The ball's got to come out of there immediately. You're seeing less of those extended pile driver type face-offs. So many face-off athletes are going through a significant transition of style. It would be as if in college football you said, okay, no shotgun this year. Everyone's got to be under center. This is a major deal for these individuals who've worked a lifetime on one very specific craft.
A really nice defense there by Tyler Carpenter to force Stathikish out of bounds. And now Duke will set up the clear. Only one offensive possession for the Blue Devils as we come up on the 8-minute mark. And Duke nearly turned it over. Couple of missing pieces for the Blue Devils. They will not have Joe Robertson, who's back from a torn ACL but unavailable today, along with J.P. Basile and Cameron Moulet.
Duke had an excellent
But they
fall.
have more than enough depth.
Yeah, well, the issue is they have so many bodies. I'm sure practice this time of year is difficult. Like, who are we going with? Who do we give quality reps to in practice? But they had a full fall, which was unusual, and they've had a very smooth preseason so far. But so far in this game, what you're seeing, Anish, one team had a game last week, and they're sharp and ready to go. And the other's a little like, okay, how do we do this?
Here comes O'Neal, the freshman, with the lone Duke goal, and now Sowers. The Princeton transfer. The heavy favorite for the Tewaaraton last year. To Nakai Montgomery, and a big early save by Jack Thompson.
JT, the sophomore lefty, had 11 stops against Utah last week. He was really good. It's a program last year. It was musical goalies. I mean, every week it was a different guy, Anish.
They used 5 goalies last year, 3 starters. Bill Tierney told us it wasn't off the table. They would use multiple goalies this weekend with games against Duke and Carolina. Here comes Hannah against the shorty Caputo. Hear the bench yelling. You can hear everything these days without the crowds. Walker against Terry Lindsay, who jars it loose. Walker to the deck, and we get a whistle. Loose ball push. It'll stay with Denver.
They get the full 80 reset on the shot clock. His first midfield for Denver has to produce.
Another shot, another goal for the Pioneers. Jackson Morrill, his second, 5 straight for Denver.
Jackson's got a pair. He's at X. That's directly the point behind position. Approached by a short stick, it's a great time for him to dodge. More of an exclamation point, a speed dodge to his strong right hand. He's moving upfield, but he's able to kind of turn his shoulders and hips and shoot that ball. It's a bad matchup for Duke. Morrill sees it and he capitalizes on that approach.
Jackson Morrill, a descendant of 3 lacrosse Hall of Famers. In fact, Bill Tierney coached his dad, Mike, when Bill was an assistant at Hopkins. Mike played with you, didn't he?
Yeah, 2 years. We spent a lot of time after practice. Mike shooting on me and us discussing things, and he made me a lot better as a goaltender. But Jackson's mom, Mary Page, also played at Dartmouth, so he's got both sides of the pedigree, top and bottom. When you think about what he's going to bring to this team, he's a leader from a culture standpoint. I think when you look at that Yale team, the strength of that culture is why Bill Tierney invited Kotler and Morrill onto his bench.
Here's Dwinell. Fires wide. Denver last week had some early struggles today. 5 of 8 with their shots. Morrill gets the pick from Blair, who gets sandwiched. Up top, Walker, lefty laser, flag down. Officials today, Jim Blanker, Andrew Smith, Sonny Ziegler.
You pushed him into him right there. See that? 55, Leishau. Could have been a cross check. The senior from Minnesota. It's excellent officiating, and stuff like that often goes unseen.
Well, let's see if Denver can be a little better on the man up. 1 for 8 against Utah. Last year, just 9 of 25. You know, we warned Bill Tierney, everything you're going to say, the mics are going to pick up. He did say, "I'll be wearing a mask," but I said we could still hear you. Ethan Walker feeding inside, and a big save by Mike Adler. He needed that one, Quint.
Adler goes down, and that ball bounces, and he smothers it. Transfer from St. Joe's, who put up great numbers there, 58%. From St. Thomas Aquinas in Florida.
Duke turns it over, so they really haven't been able to give this offense many chances today. Denver has controlled the ball. They've controlled the face-off dot, and now a turnover by Duke.
I mean, John Danowski is always interesting for us to talk to. And yesterday when he said, throwing and catching, not so good. Okay, that led me to believe that they're not where they're going to be. And he's typically a slow, he builds slowly. So this is not completely surprising.
When you look at what they have on paper, they have more talent than anybody else in lacrosse. But in this season, given that there are going to be interruptions and nothing is going to be linear, teams that have continuity, teams that have played together, that's going to be an advantage. Duke is still figuring out its chemistry.
Do they have the defensive talent to match the boatloads of scorers they have on this roster? Okay, we know that JT Giles-Harris is an elite defender, 2 in white. The other guys are relatively unknowns. We like Tyler Carpenter, Frisoli, Marinello. These guys haven't played in championship weekends.
Shot clock at 7. Here's Walker. His pass picked off by Giles-Harris, the consensus #1 defender in the country.
For a lot of reasons. He's a leader, tremendous footwork, he's exceptionally strong. He's a worker, he's a competitor. There's not a single game this year that Coach Danowski will roll him out and say, JT, we like you in this matchup.
Caputo, Lowry, and Bedour, the midfield for Duke. Owen Caputo. Bounce shot, hits the pipe. Backed up by O'Neal. They're playing Brennan O'Neal on attack today with Joe Robertson out.
Yeah, they're running Joey Manown on a midfield line. Caputo, 13 right here. He was their most improved player last year. I thought he was outstanding as a sophomore last season.
Had 3 goals, 3 assists in a win against Denver last year. Caputo shoots low, saved by Thompson. And then it's dumped back into the crease by Colin Squires. Back in the lineup for Denver after missing last week's game.
Look at Thompson with the bounce. Good balance. Light on his feet. Denver's not going to operate at hyper speed. I would equate them to a huddle offense in Asian college football. They're going to get in their huddle, they're going to substitute, they're going to get in the right play, and then they're going to come at you. They're not a no-huddle, rapid tempo team.
Here's Zach Hutchko. Plays it back to X. Walker, left hand free, a little too high.
That's his look, right?
First quarter dominated by Denver. Blair working against Tyler Carpenter, and now Sullivan on the invert against Leishau. Lucas Kotler, the Yale transfer, back to Walker. JT Giles-Harris all over him. Kotler put it on the turf. It comes to Duke. Braden Burke in transition. He's got O'Neal on the wing. One more. Bounce shot. That one doesn't go. Squires comes away with it. Three saves for Thompson as Hangland helps to bring it across, and Denver can hold for one, which they probably will.
That's absolutely right. What a save. Dyson Williams, the lefty, it was a lefty fast break with O'Neal as the point man. Denver reacted well, but he tried to jam that ball near pipe, and Thompson just sealed it up. What a great first quarter. Sophomores played.
He had 11 saves against Utah, won the job coming into the season, and Denver hoping he can bring stability to the cage. All right, when you're the Pios, at what point do you go? Well, they tried to go there with Walker, and it's vacuumed up by Carpenter.
Clock awareness.
Adler whips it downfield into the cross of Thompson, and Denver will take a 5-1 lead on the road against the number 1 team in the country to the end of quarter number 1. Brennan O'Neal got the scoring started, the ballyhooed freshman for Duke. Pioneers, oh Pioneers, it was all Denver after that. 5 on
the price that you pay for being great. And the price sometimes is it's the competition. It's being it's playing a new role. It's accepting a new role. It's being challenged with competition if you weren't used to it. It's playing in the cold. It's playing, it's having a bad day, or, going to school virtually and now you play on lacrosse, or, whatever that challenge is, there's all these new challenges. And if you're going to be great, you got no choice. You accept it. You accept whatever the challenge that is, and you figure it out.
Master motivator John Danowski with Quint Kesnick and Ish Shroff. So glad we can be with you, sort of. We're calling this game remotely. New age, new era, but we have lacrosse. Denver with a 5-1 lead on number 1 Duke. And one of the things that Dino told us when we spoke to him this week, chemistry doesn't get developed until you play in games. You saw some of that in quarter number 1.
Facing off has been the main issue. They just haven't had the ball enough, and that makes it, 8-0 right now in terms of Denver's dominance of face-off.
Denver has won all 8 face-offs.
Danowski, talking about what's your goal? What's your individual goal? What's the team goal? Do you want to play to May 1st, or do you want to play beyond? Well, this is a franchise that plays on Memorial Day, so we know the answer to that question. Well, what you willing to do to get there? And then, given COVID-19, what you willing to do this year to get there?
And this is a team, let's be honest, getting to championship weekend is not going to be enough. Denver's about to go man up. Late flag against Duke. Hanna fires wide.
A face-off dilemma continues for Duke.
Yeah, this Duke team, it's championship or bust with the talent they have. 1 minute man up for Denver.
Slashing violation, Danny Logan, graduate student from Ohio. He's getting his master's in quantitative finance. Anish, this kid, I spoke to him this week on Wednesday, Danny Logan. Hire him, folks. If you're out there, I want to be a headhunter for Danny Logan right now. If you run a corporation or a business, look him up. Hire Danny Logan. That's all I'll say. I was blown away by this young man. He was
quantitative finance. Can he tell you when to get out of GameStop?
I hope you did last Tuesday, Anish. I hope you're long gone.
Blair. Low laser is wide. Denver connected on 5 of its first 7. They've missed 6 in a row. Kotler was calling for it on the skip, couldn't get it to him cleanly.
33, Carpenter. Nice player on the far side, the lefty.
Up top, it's Erickson. Drew Erickson, who had a goal against Utah, the junior out of Danville, California.
Now you hear the reaction on the bench. High heat, plant your feet, grip it and rip it. Boom. Turn and rake from 15 plus, sidearm. Got a piece. Adler got a piece. Look at him, look at his stick like it let him down. There's Erickson coming off the bench and playing in the extra man. There's a reason that guy's positioned top center, because he's got heat and looks like Duke is making a goalie change. Tough start.
So much attention placed on the addition of Mike Adler. Duke had some average at best goalie play the last few years. Adler, a 3-year starter, a captain at St. Joe's, top 10 in save percentage 2 years in a row. But they go back to Turner Upgren, who started a lot of games and a lot of big games for John Danowski.
Seems like Turner Upgren's been in Durham, Anish, for as long as we've been going down there.
Dan O'Connell, the Holy Cross transfer, wins the first face-off of the game for Duke.
We all anticipated O'Connell being their starting Fogo. Back-to-back years at Holy Cross, 66%. We were surprised that Coach Dino told us he was their third or fourth guy. Still trying to figure out the new rules.
You get the sense, though, and you always have, John Danowski is okay with slow-playing pocket aces. If the first part of the season doesn't go how the people, the prognosticators expect it to, he's fine with that as long as it ends in late May. Now Sowers and Squires.
Yeah.
He's been a little passive in the early going. Riley Walsh. Back to Sowers.
This offense is so different than what Michael Sowers ran at Princeton. I mean, he was the show. They're attacking from top down. You got the best player in the game standing behind the net. The green light was always on for Sowers at Princeton. Now he's playing within a pretty well-defined scheme. They haven't changed a thing for him. And it's going to take some adapting in his game.
There comes Sowers, shot clock at 6. Sowers probing to Nakai Montgomery. And that is wide. Denver will get it. To your point, Q, you said Duke hasn't changed a thing. Should they have?
I think if you've got a talent like Michael Sowers, you should be attacking from behind the goal forward. You've got to surround him by guys who want to play off ball. I mean, he made stars out of guys like Connor McCarthy and Phil Robertson.
And the Blue Devils finally end the Denver run. It's a Michael Sowers sighting.
I've never seen a goal like this. I have never seen a goal like this.
Whoops.
Dyson Williams picks it off, but watch this. He tries to kick it, and then he kicks it. I have never seen a goal like this. That was kicked by 23, Michael Sowers with his right foot.
What's the old baseball analogy? It's a line drive in the box score.
That's a rally breaker, though, if you're Denver. What an ugly goal.
So that's his first goal as a Blue Devil. Michael Sowers didn't even use his cross. Closest to the ball when it went in the net. He gets credit for the goal. And it ends a 6-0 Denver run. Pioneers, even when they win faceoffs, they don't really push transition. Hannah's been quiet today.
JT tried to throw it and knocked it down. And JT instead of trying to scoop it, he tried to kick it and missed. And hey, great job on the
Sullivan against Jake Caputo. Off the cross of Hannah.
Good job, Hannah.
Hannah still retrieves. Looking to feed. Skip pass, shot. And it goes wide. Ted Sullivan.
This offense known for if you take a good look at Turner Upgren, the graduate out of Minnesota. Offense is known for their ability to pass the ball. They don't have a stable of great dodgers.
Nice move by Lucas Cutler. A little hesitation to get free, and Denver answers right back.
Lefty rip, Yale transfer, Syosset, Long Island. He's over a 30% shooter. Again, the plant and go on that long approach. You see the defender, the lefty 43, so coming out at him. It's a great time to dodge. He hockey stops, shimmies to his left, sets his feet, and rips a really well-designed shot against the lefty Upgren. A good look at Lucas Kotler and why he was one of the name transfers in a year that featured just massive amounts of player relocation.
When we asked Bill Tierney how the transfers would fit in, specifically Morrill and Kotler from Yale, he said when you play for Andy Shea, it guarantees you that you're a strong culture guy. And those guys bought into the Denver culture. High lacrosse IQ, high character guys off the field, and Bill Tierney had a lot of respect for Andy Shea and what he's done with that program. And you got to feel for Yale. Everybody essentially opting out of the season to try to preserve an extra year of eligibility. The Ivy League has failed their student athletes by their silence, not giving anybody any direction if there's going to be a season. And, you know, you feel for Yale and other programs that might have to follow a similar path. Low shot and a save by Upgren. Unforced error, and Denver gets it back.
That is the definition of February, as Coach Janowski said, winter lacrosse.
Duke's last goal came off a tough ride. One 6-on-6 goal for Duke. Here comes Blair. What's made Denver effective in the half field?
Today, they've dodged off a bunch of Duke approaches. Their ball movement's been excellent. Their stick work's been sharp until that point. I don't think it's anything, turnovers like that don't go over well, let me tell you.
Are there any turnovers that go over well? What do you want to see here offensively from Duke?
Well, it's a midfield-generated offense. Now they bring the attack up to the high wing position. But this is where Sowers wants to operate, behind the goal. And it's as if he goes back there and he's looking for guys to cut to him and get open, and they're not all on the same page. You know, he's not an above-the-goal, post-you-up type offensive player. He's not a power forward. He's an Allen Iverson who's most comfortable attacking, not at the top of the arc, but behind the goal.
Duke again turns it over. Kyle Smith took it away for Denver.
Got some matchups right now.
I was going to say, Duke's having trouble just getting shots out of their possessions.
They've got a history of, again, starting slow, losing a game in the first 2 weekends of the season that you never thought they'd lose. Last year we covered their Air Force loss on opening day, right? They struggled to beat Richmond last year, one of their last games of the season.
Walker, left hand, misses wide. I thought towards the end of the season, Duke was playing well, though, last year before things stopped.
They were. I was still not convinced that they had a championship weekend defense. I think they've improved in the short stick defensive midfield category this year.
Walker over to Hanna.
Playing 5-on-5 is Denver. You see the bottom of your screen. Hiding a guy.
Off the whistle, it's going to go back to Duke. Let's see if they get something in transition. Here's Lowry. O'Neal plays it back to Dyson Williams, the Canadian. And now O'Neal, who had the first Duke goal. As Quint said in the open, maybe the biggest freshman recruit in the history of college lacrosse. A lot of hype considered a generational talent out of high school. Feeding Dyson Williams. The freshman to the sophomore, O'Neal to Williams at 7-3.
Dyson Williams, lefty from O'Neal. He's not a one-trick pony. He can feed. Eyes are up. Money in the bank, Dyson Williams. So I love the midfield. I mean, Curry, Dordovic, Jamie Trimboli, that's as good as it gets. Chris Gray put up monster numbers last year, and he made that Carolina team. They were undefeated when the season ended last year. And then Notre Dame. Yeah, they may be like ranked, what, 5th in the ACC right now, Anish? They have the best, the Fighting Irish has, in my eyes, the best defensive trio in the nation. And I think they're even improved on offense, but it's going to be tough in the ACC. Every team capable of making a run to the title.
And Notre Dame really had a strong goalie last year in freshman Liam Entenmann, and you bring in Kyle Gallagher at the faceoff X. You're going to see North Carolina against Denver on Sunday. We will see Towson and Virginia tomorrow. That's going to be a lot of fun. Virginia very much has the core of that championship team intact. Charlie Bertrand, two-time Division II Player of the Year at Merrimack.
What a weekend.
This is therapeutic for a lot of us. Stathakis off the face-off win, took a snipe, and it's backed up by Blair.
I mean, is he the story or what? I thought last week against Utah,
terrific.
He went 7 of 14, but he only had 2 grounders. And you see the new rules. Man, he's gone back to work this week. He was 62% a year ago. He's out of Culver. What does it feel like for him, you think, Anish, with TD Erlin now potentially breathing down his neck?
I was just thinking the same thing. You hear TD's coming. All right, well, I better pick it up. At least that's the word on the street. Here's Dwinell.
Crisp passing.
Plenty of time to shoot.
Of the 10-yard variety.
Morrill now around X, picked up by Lindsay. Off the slide, Dwinell thought about it instead. Tough pass to the center. It's turned away by Upgren, who's provided a nice lift in relief of Adler. New shot clock.
Took it off the grill. Good body and foot movement by Upgren. But that's a key ground ball by Ethan Walker. Let me tell you, I mean, to get the fresh 80, that's right in the tempo that Denver wants to play.
Touch go back to Sullivan. Walker looking to get away from Lindsay. Another save by Upgren. Rebound Denver. It's jarred loose. Tyler Carpenter. And now here comes Duke.
Got a trailer.
Sowers directing traffic. Sowers shoots. Kick save by Thompson. Malik Sparrow could not hang on. Finally picked up by Dwinell. 4 saves for Thompson. Here's Smith.
Those grounders are so critical as you see Walker now surveying the field.
Walker and JT Giles Harris, great matchup. How is Walker helped by the addition of Jackson Morrill?
Well, he's got a natural feeder from behind the goal. A guy who can sit back there and throw him skip passes and seam passes. You know, I talked to Ethan this week, and he talked about just trying to develop that relationship, the chemistry, the unspoken, you know, just seeing a guy's body language. And there's Morrill, his ability to get topside.
Guess who got him the ball? His old Yale teammate Lucas Kotler, and for Jackson Morrill, a hat trick in his second game for Denver on a flag down.
Watch the tape of the Utah game, and much like what we're seeing from Michael Sowers today, Jackson Morrow just didn't look like he quite was on the same page with this Denver offense. A week later, look at the emotion. He's big, he's strong, he can do a little bit of everything. That's what I love about his game. You can't label him. He turns the corner left-handed, and he's got more than 200 career points. He's won a national championship. He's got a ring, and he's going to add a lot of quality leadership, experience.
Frizzoli to the box, so Denver will face off man up. Pio's 1 for 10 with the extra man this season. 0 for 2 today. Kotler swings it over to Hanna. Those two play catch. Now Morrill.
One cradle and a pass. Ball's getting a little stagnant in some sticks.
Erickson had a goal from 15 earlier. Hanna's been the one who's been quiet today. Nearly knocked away by JT. 15 seconds on the man up. Morrill. Out to
D
Hanna.
so far. Good D.
5
really
seconds on the man up. Walker steps into one. Save Upgren. Big ground ball near the sideline. Out of bounds. It belongs to Duke.
Great defense. And it's the way Duke was able to stay in their 5-man. Basically, it's a house. You know, they're in their structure, and they protect the middle of the field. No skip passes, no through passes. They keep the ball on the perimeter, and Upgren does his job. That was a great example. If you're a young player or coach of a high school level or below, clip that highlight when you want to show man-down defense. The sticks are up, everyone's in the right spots.
You're seeing the third midfield, 91 Griffin Catlett. Joey Manown, 84 career goals, third midfielder. Number 12, Kevin Quigley, almost 50 career goals, third midfielder. Sowers has his man hung up. Sowers gets it back. This is where he's dangerous. Sowers finding Catlett.
You nailed it, Anish. This is where he's dangerous. He wants to play behind the goal. Look at him. He's not comfortable coming up past the goal line extended and getting beaten up. But man, his vision, his passing skills, he throws the most catchable ball. He sees things develop before they happen. And now you're seeing the guys in white playing with some great emotion. Sowers is starting to feel a little more comfortable, it appears, in the last couple possessions. They get a big stop from their man down unit. And a guy who we haven't called Catlett's name very often scores, which is always great for morale.
Michael Sowers, the Princetonian that was promised, all-time leading scorer at Princeton. He set Princeton's single-season scoring record as a freshman, broke it as a sophomore, broke it again as a junior, would have broken it last year when he was on a historic pace before last year was interrupted.
9.4 points per that's per game. Per game. There's 2 great highlight reels online. I recommend them. It's got every point from the 2020 season, okay? And then it's got his 2019 highlights. And if you're a young attack player, please do yourself a service, Google them and watch them. I did this week multiple times. The quickness, the change of direction, the IQ. I mean, he makes passes that it's like, what is he seeing that I can't see? His vision is uncanny. Ambidextrous. I can't tell if he's a righty. I can't tell if he's a lefty. And the footwork that reminds all of us, I mean, both you and Paul have alluded to the Mikey Powell-like footwork, that hockey stop, the suddenness, the separation quickness that we really haven't seen. I mean, he's a very different player than a Pat Spencer from Loyola. Other
notable transfers along with Sowers, we'll see Charlie Bertrand two-time Division II Player of the Year at Merrimack. He'll suit up for Virginia tomorrow. Griffin Brown from Colgate to Maryland. You've seen Kotler and O'Connell in this game. Thornton really solidifies that Notre Dame defense paired with Cohen and Keelty. Connor McCarthy played with Sowers at Princeton, as did Philip Robertson, who's now with Duke. So the transfer portal, it was, you saw certain guys leave. I remember Nicky Galasso when he transferred from UNC to Syracuse, and then the big one, T.D. Erlin a few years ago, Albany to Yale, Chase Scanlon and Chris Gray last year. Now the portal has become, a place where you can really plug some holes and make it like free agency, and it's become in lacrosse what it is in college football and college basketball.
And because the 2020 season was cut short, that trend will continue for the next 3 years. Guys will graduate and still have an extra year of athletic eligibility. And so if you're a student athlete, man, you're in a great spot. You get your degree from someplace, you can go somewhere else, whether it be a really fun school or whether it be a targeted master's program you're interested in. I mean, I'm jealous of guys like Connor McCarthy, who has a Princeton degree. Now he's playing lacrosse at North Carolina. I mean, are you kidding me? Those are like two dreams right there, combined into one. You get to see McCarthy on Sunday.
We see Philip Robertson, 41 and white, on the field for Duke. That was Michael Sowers' old line mate at Princeton, and he is the brother of Duke's Joe Robertson. It's interesting because when Philip Robertson was at Princeton, he said, hey, Sowers was like a brother. Well, now he's got like a brother, and he's got the actual brother on the same team. Joe Robertson not playing today, though, unavailable. He is healthy from that torn ACL he suffered before last year. About a 15-second differential between game clock and a shot clock. Catlett, who had just scored his first career goal. Now Sowers from goal line extended. Back to X. That's a sweet spot. He's the maestro. 5 seconds. Sowers inside roll. Falls down in the crease. Squires up ahead. Popped into the air. Mix it up. Picked up by Denver. Final seconds. And the first half comes to an end. Are you surprised, Quint?
I'm a bit surprised. Obviously Duke played a much better second quarter, and Denver has taken gigantic strides from their one-goal win a week ago against and they intentionally hang themselves up in front of the goal, and that strategy has worked thus far.
Stathakis now 12 of 14. Duke used 4 different face-off men in the first half. Jordan Ginder took that one. He's now 0 for 4. Hannah, Kotler, and Sullivan, the first midfield.
Yeah, it's been a quiet day for them, hasn't it? Other than the one Kotler goal?
Yeah, Hannah especially, after scoring 6 against Duke last year, and that one not close. Last year, Hannah, 17 goals, 10 assists. Also hit the pipe 6 times in the shortened season. Had 4 goals against UNC as well. Skylar Blair to Kotler. Good outside shooter, and that's turned away. Giles Harris had the backup, Duke ball.
That is a serious save. I mean, unbelievable. Offside low for the lefty. What a save by Upgren.
And then a failed clear by Duke. Ball still on the turf. And Walker picks it up.
That's a first game mistake. I mean, that's as bad as it gets.
The Pioneers last week beat Utah 9-8. And Utah played a club goalie. Here's Sullivan, Ooh. Good look.
Good look, that's an understatement, Anish. He had all day.
That's game 1, understatements before the overstatements.
I think he was a little surprised, honestly, that no one in a white jersey realized he had the ball.
There's Hannah, who Tierney calls a man-child. Walker, missed Hannah. He was open. Another extended possession by Denver, taking its time. Walker against Carpenter. Tyler Carpenter's dad was a coach at Denver in the 80s. Samuel. Mom is the head volleyball coach at Duke.
Yeah, Jolene, longtime head volleyball coach. They get another reset. So this is basically like a third chance opportunity.
Kotler inside, and that was too easy. Yale West, Quint. Morrill's got a hat trick. Kotler's got 2.
This is a rude awakening for Duke defense. Beat on ball. Watch this double team. It's just a stick. There's no body. And Kotler dancing his way to the middle of the field, leaving the goalie on a complete island. And Kotler's a great-looking athlete. I mean, he's 6 foot 205, product of that Yale strength and conditioning program. I mean, he's a man now as a 5th year. And you see the fearless dodging to pay dirt.
Both of these coaches had a lot of players wanting to transfer into their programs. Duke took 5, Denver took 4. Bill Tierney taking Kotler and Morrill from Yale. And then Cole Boland and Logan Devereaux from Loyola. And Tierney had a lot of praise for Charlie Toomey, the head coach at Loyola, Andy Shea, the head coach at Yale, crediting the new guys for fitting right in, bringing leadership qualities, and coming from a strong culture.
11 grad students on this roster, 10 seniors. What's the number? 67 players on Denver's roster. They've been practicing in 2 separate teams, 2 cohorts. The coaches are on the field for 4.5 hours a day. The logistics behind what they're trying to do out in Denver, the Mile High City, it just boggles. It's amazing, Anish, to listen to Coach T talk about it.
He was joking with us. He said when kids are coming out of high school, it's hard to get freshmen from the East Coast to come to Denver. By the time they're seniors and have a chance to be a grad transfer somewhere, everybody wants to come to Denver.
Wonder why.
I got a reason.
So 2 cohorts, 33 or so per group. They practice with masks on. Think about that. Breathing during practice is hard. You add a mask to it and a mouthpiece. You're supposed to be talking and communicating, all while at altitude too. Plus the grossness of wearing a mask while you exercise. These guys, I mean, they are all in. They're doing it. I have tremendous respect for this group.
Here comes O'Neal. Duke will retrieve. You look at Brennan O'Neal and his build, his bodies go flying. Do you see a little Mark Matthews there?
I see more John Grant Jr. Matthews a little taller and more lanky with the hands.
Here's Skylar Blair. He's had a nice game after not playing last week, and he stepped in the crease.
Announcer's jinx.
Yeah. Hasn't missed a free throw in 3 games. Clank. Eight turnovers by Denver. Pioneers have controlled this game pretty much throughout. Makai Montgomery, 15 and white. Boy, he's been quiet today.
I was going to say, it's a Riley Walsh sighting.
Riley Walsh, Aiden Denenza, the freshman, 88 and white. He played at the same high school that O'Neal played at. Now Sowers as Walsh hits the deck. Sowers gets free. Sidewinder is off the mark, and there to back up is Duke. A goal and an assist for Sowers, a goal and an assist for O'Neal. The 2 headliners for Duke have done the damage. Nobody else, though. And we get a flag.
Montgomery trying to dodge the pole right-handed.
39 red. 1 minute.
Colin Squires guilty, the veteran leader on this defense.
Second
Easy
man
call.
in. Denver's got a nice
Squires.
size defense, and they're tough.
Yeah. Squires didn't play last week along with Alex Simmons and Ellis Geis and Skylar Blair. Blair and Squires are back. Simmons and Geis still out. Duke last season only 4 of 18 with the extra man. Sowers. Sowers and Philip Robertson, his old Princeton teammate, playing catch. Now Caputo. Back to Robertson, Sowers. Badur, Caputo. 20 seconds left on the extra man. Sowers probing, O'Neal on the wing! Sowers to O'Neal. That's what Duke fans have been waiting for.
From the end zone, a wing shot, pass on the money. Brennan O'Neal's able to shuffle into that. Watch him turn his hips, plant, rotate through. That's a good-looking shot from about 10 or 12.
Sowers and O'Neal have had a hand in all 5 Blue Devil goals.
O'Neal, got a good look at him. Verbal to Penn State back when he was in 8th grade. First time I saw him play, Anish, was 2015. What was that? 6 years ago. In the World Series of Youth Lacrosse, playing for Team 91 Crush. I think he was 6'2", 230 back then. I mean, he destroyed the Pee Wee level, Jake Steinfeld's event out in the big stadium.
Here's
Joe
Sowers.
Spallina.
Big face-off win by Ginder. Duke can cut it to 3. Sowers finds O'Neal again!
Little bow and arrow
Duke has
selling.
found a 1-2 punch.
9-6. Sowers planted at X. He's got a cutter inside. Carpenter draws the double to the defender. That's the key to that play. The cut by 33 makes the defense honor him. He's not just standing there. He's cutting hard to the pipe. The Denver defender has to flash down and respect the good cut from Tyler Carpenter. That leaves O'Neal open on the wing. Really well-schooled player playing for St. Anthony's, for Keith Weiserick, playing for that, as I mentioned, Team 91 Crush, Joe Spallina, Doug Schreiber, amongst others.
Q, Bill Tierney's big concern was if Michael Sowers would start racking up the assists. He's now assisted on 3 straight goals for Duke.
First thing he told us when you asked him. Said we can't let Michael Sowers get 8 assists.
And Duke gets another face-off.
Yeah, they're almost inviting him to go to the goal for himself. You feel momentum has shifted here.
You go back to Sowers at X because when Duke has done that, good things have happened.
Absolutely.
Sowers waiting for the pick. He gets it. And a save by Thompson. The shot had little on it.
You know, without fans, Anish, I think the people at home can really hear the amount of communication that goes on in a Division One lacrosse game. Bench to field, field to field. You know, defenders talking, goalies talking, offensive
glad
players.
it wasn't this way when you played because they would have heard everything you said.
It was a constant conversation. I mean, that's your job as a goaltender. I could take you through some of the stuff I'd be saying right now.
How much of it is safe for air?
Oh, it's all safe.
Saved by Upgren.
You got to give Upgren some credit. Starter last year, spot taken. Now he's got, 8 saves since being put in this game with about 13 minutes to go in the second quarter?
8 saves. Sowers posting up Squires. There's the slide. Flag down. Duke's going to go man up. Momentum, you're right, has swung.
So when Athena has her next birthday party, you can hang up a piñata and take shots at it like that.
Duke 1 for 1 with the man up. They've got Montgomery out there and O'Neal. Sowers over to Lowry.
I like Sowers with the ball behind, feeding the 2 lefties. Dyson Williams, 51, O'Neal, 34.
Lowry. John D. Benedetto will try to set up the clear. 20 seconds left on this Duke extra man. Ball trickles out, and it's going to be Duke ball.
That was O'Neal. What a play.
Still 15 seconds on this extra man. Scaglione up ahead. Let's see if Duke's got a shot here. O'Neal over to Sowers. 3 seconds. Lowry had an angle. Turned away, back to full strength. Lowry, face dodge, and score! 3 unanswered by Duke. It's a 2-goal game.
Game on.
Unassisted.
Brennan O'Neal, the big freshman out of Long Island and Strong Island in the house. Got it going early. He's got a hat trick and a helper.
Zion Williamson with a lacrosse stick. 6'2", 230. He's got the body. He's got the experience. He can do a little bit of everything. We've seen him ride. We've seen him pass. He's dodged. The shooting is clear, and he can run. His eye-popping highlights from high school, I think they draw a lot of attention, Anish, but the depth of his ability is much deeper than splash plays on the internet.
You look at what those two have done. We highlighted them in the open. They've combined for 4 goals, 4 dimes. And this is a Duke team that still has reinforcements coming. It's scary. Joe Robertson not playing today. He'll be out this weekend, unavailable. He's got 90 career goals to his name. They're still waiting on Garrett Ledman, J.P. Basile. The wealth of riches that they have is mind-boggling. But, Quint, at the end of the day, you can't play 30 guys at a time. You can only play 10.
No, and if it's a puzzle, it's got to be a functional puzzle. The pieces have to fit. And what we watched in the first half was dysfunctional. I mean, it was horrible. Like, guys don't understand their roles. What are we doing as a team? How do I fit in? It's going to take a while to figure that out. And the defense.
Well, we figured this out. Sowers to O'Neal. That works pretty
good.
well.
That's pretty good.
If you're putting that puzzle together, right, you start with the corner piece, you start with the anchor of it. You found that. Didn't have to look too hard either. Here comes Sullivan. Morrill's been quiet in this second half. Scaglione all over him. Walker's got the shorty Leishau. Walker trying to get to that left hand. Leishau denies top side. Sullivan dropped the pass. Jarred loose.
Ooh, wow.
Bounds. It will stay with Denver.
That was vicious. The Denver player was falling down on the ground. Leishau, let me tell you, this guy is nasty, 55 and white. He is tough. Watch him, right side.
You saw Garrett Ledman in there, who is a little banged up. Playing short stick D-midi. That tells you how much depth they have. Bouncer is wide. Ledman, DeMatha's all-time leading scorer, broke a lot of Paul Rabel's records. D-midi on this team. Sullivan inside. Walker has the back up. Plenty of time on the shot clock.
JT Giles Harris taking names after this shot. I mean, he lit this shooter up. Look how strong this defender is right there.
Whoa.
What, he's squat like 6'10", right? We've seen him deadlift like enormous amounts of weight. And that's going to be a penalty on JT Giles Harris. There he is, left-hand side of your screen in the penalty box.
So Denver goes man up, and really this is man up plus. You take Duke's best defender out of the equation.
Guessing that Tierney's asking for multiple minutes or a non-release on that penalty.
Pioneers 1 for 3 with the extra man today, 2 of 11 on the season. Hanna to Erickson, who's got a goal. Hanna scoreless today. Erickson, easy save for Upgren. There is a flag. And it's interference. Terry Lindsay, the graduate student.
He's played in every single career game. Really amazing. President of the SAC, that's the athletic, all athletes, like the whole school of athletes, football, basketball,
Student Athlete Council.
sports.
Yep.
Yeah, he's the prez.
Considering joining the Navy SEALs once he's done. Six on 4. And Upgren is there again. He has been a stone wall in the cage since supplanting Adler.
Not today, baby. Not only does he make this stop, catches it clean and like looks back at the shooter like, come on, man, you got to do a little better than that. Upgren, no pressure. You come off the bench from a guy who struggled early, like there's no pressure on you as a goalie. It's actually an easy spot. He's got 10 stops. 10 stops.
If you're John Danowski, do you start him again Sunday against Robert Morris?
Yeah, if he continues to play at this level.
And we'll find out. That game on the ACC network as well, 4 p.m. Little Super Bowl appetizer. Got Denver, North Carolina on ESPNU earlier in the day. Caputo, bouncer, and he beats Thompson. Duke is within 1.
Topside dives, gets to the middle of the field. Look at the defense collapse around him, but he's able to release that ball before he has to pay the price. Thompson gets a piece of it, but a well-placed bouncer. I called Owen Caputo one of the most improved players that I got to see last year. He did not do much as a freshman, but man, last year he was creating, zigging and zagging, making things happen. The son of Ronnie Caputo, the defensive coordinator, played his high school ball, Apex, right? That's the Research Triangle area?
Yeah, right outside of Raleigh. 3 goals, 3 assists, and Duke's win against Denver a year ago. Ginder and Stathakis. It's taken by Denver. Let's see if they push. They do. It's Walker. Denver usually doesn't push transition off of face-off wins. They did that time, and it paid off.
This is scary. Stathakis loses the initial draw, but the wing play, it's Danny Logan. Who else? Feet set from mid-range. Boom, turn and rake. Nobody on the planet is stopping Ethan Walker there. Assist from Danny Logan, whose work from that position, the short stick defensive midfielder and ground ball play, a huge part of Denver's success.
Guys like Logan who excel on face-off wings with the new rules, how much is their importance heightened this year?
Gigantic. You got to put your two best ground ball players on the wings because this ball's not going to stay in the clamp very long. So you're going to have more 50-50s.
Here comes Ginder. Got a little too greedy, and Squires comes away with it. Since Duke
Logan
made the change in goal, the Blue Devils have outscored Denver 7-4. Got bald men not on campus tonight. 10 Eastern, LaFonso Ellis, Jay Billis, Seth Greenberg. You and I do not qualify for that show.
I was going to say, no, you don't qualify for that show, Anish. With that bouffant you're rocking these days. Every call this week. We have, what, 4? The coaches are like, whoa, look at that, Anish. What the hell? Look at the lettuce.
The headshot is not updated.
You and Coach Corrigan both.
Quint. I didn't fall for it. I didn't fall for it.
Without a crowd, you'll do better in that department this year if fanless lacrosse, because you're goaded by the crowd. You know, you feel the crowd, the moms cheering. You're like, oh! I like your chances this year for fewer mom goals. I'll take the under.
I didn't have one last year. Now we only did a couple of games, but 0 last year. 88's a good-looking player, Denenza. John Danowski really likes his lacrosse IQ, his anticipation, the way he can manipulate doubles. A Long Island kid who dreamt of playing for Duke. Kai Montgomery! A low rocket by the senior out of Big D, Dallas, Texas.
Now everybody's eating. Right-handed split down the wing off the pick from Denenza. And this shot is a thing of beauty. It's a three-quarter arm release or overhand release. Using the earth. Puts that ball out in front of the crease and it kicks up past Thompson. Nakai told Kark he started playing in 3rd grade back in Dallas. He was a great high school football player. I met him for the first time at the Under Armour games when he was a senior, and he came in, his ankle was a little dinged up, and I sat down and talked with him. Man, he is personable. And you saw that in that interview with Kark at halftime. He's a music lover. Fleetwood Mac, that's more like Dino-style music.
Fleetwood Mac and Kanye. Stathakis sends it wide, but Blair has the backup. Now, Nakai's a great kid. We've had a chance to spend a lot of time with him over the years. Came of age as a freshman during the NCAA tournament. An All-American as a sophomore. Got off to a slow start last year. Dangerous outside shooter. He can beat you with his feet. And he's become a leader on this team.
I was going to say, he's found his voice. You've seen his maturity. To me, that's the ultimate benefit of college sports. I mean, we've seen Nakai Montgomery grow from a boy to now like a full-fledged young man, leader of people, and he's found his voice.
Let's see if Denver has an answer. Blair against Leischau. Final seconds of this quarter. Sullivan. Upgren knocked it down, picks it up, and Duke with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the center.
And hitting and passing and scoring, it's part of the educational process for these student athletes in college, and it's made them feel more normal and feel more whole. And today's a great day for them and their fans, their families as well.
Whistle on the face-off against Duke. Gives it to Denver. They have dominated at the X. Pioneers with a 1-goal lead. Denver has led by as many as 5. Feels like a game that we did a few years ago at Koskinen between these two. Denver got off to a big lead, and then Duke chipped away, ended up winning the game on a Joey Manown goal late.
This series has typically been close, high-scoring games. Duke's won the last 3 in the series, but usually low teens.
Jack Hanna's been quiet. Outside of Kotler, Denver really hasn't had much from its midfield.
I was going to say Teddy Sullivan and Hanna need to show up here in the fourth quarter.
Skylar Blair against Jake Caputo. Blair's shot was bothered, only 3 seconds on the shot clock, and Denver's going to have to roll it in the corner. That did not hit the goalie, so it's not a reset. Denver plus 19 on shots, 41-22. Plus 18 on ground balls, 27-9. Lowry, Caputo, and Baddour on for Duke at the midfield. Baddour, lefty bouncer, another bounce shot, and Duke has pulled even.
Number 5,
This is a great assist. Look at how the defense will shift and their eyes. Ball watching, Baddour flashes his stick. And the left-handed hammer. Canadian out of Ottawa through IMG in Florida. Big target at 6'4", tied up at 10 apiece.
In Baddour, Dyson, Williams, and O'Neal, Duke's got 3 really talented lefties. And you think of the lefties that have come through Duke, Gutterding, Greer, Quinzani, a lot of good ones.
This was a great ground ball in this face-off. I think it was Ginder,
Penalty
99.
coming against Denver.
And he got lit up as he scooped this and threw it, and that's what the flag is. I mean, this, I don't know if we're gonna have a replay of it, but he got lifted.
Duke has not led since very early in the first quarter, since 1-0. Here's Sowers. Princeton transfer, the best player in all of college lacrosse. Has a short stick matchup against Logan, who's one of the better shorties in the country. Sowers dancing around the crease. Sowers shoots low, hits the side.
Logan's a pro, Anish. Logan will play in the PLL. 19.
Sowers
will be the
against
first
Squires.
Sowers will be the #1 draft choice.
We get the call.
The hit off the face-off.
It's on Logan.
Watch this grounder. Eyes up. Pays the price. Things happen fast at this level. Things happen fast. I mean, you go from face-off to ground ball to being hit. You got to find your teammate who's open. That's what people say. What's the difference between high school and college? That play right there. I mean, you got to process and move the ball.
Brennan O'Neal, a hat trick in his collegiate debut. Sowers, a goal and 3 assists in his Duke debut. The Blue Devils have had 8 different goal scorers. Philip Robertson over to O'Neal. Caputo calling for it on the wing, dropped it. That one hit the pipe. Dyson Williams and Denver with the hustle. It's Adam Hangland, the sophomore. Closest to the ball where it goes out of bounds on a shot gets possession.
penalty kill. Specialty situations in games like this, they're critical. I mean, we see it especially around NCAA tournament time. You have two good teams, your specialties can make a big difference. It's man up, man down.
Denver has gone stale offensively in the second half. What do they need to do to get back to some productive possessions?
Some of these middies are going to have to beat their man and draw a double team and get the defense going. It seems like Duke has become pretty comfortable in a lot of these matchups. There's a double.
Sullivan had the shot altered. Now JT Giles Harris, former ACC Defensive Player of the Year, dumps it to the wing, and that was for the lead, but high. They got JT Giles Harris out there, so essentially 5-on-5. Sowers falls down, lost the ball, no flag. Duke on a 6-1 run. Denver used a 6-1 run to open the game. Chop Gallagher tomorrow. Towson in Virginia.
I can't wait. My new favorite player. Chop Gallagher.
Freshman for the Tigers. Portland, Oregon kid. Walker against JT Giles Harris. Now picked up on the switch. Morrill for the backup.
Walker's got such a beautiful release.
Morrill maneuvering. Now Hannah without a point today. At 7 against Duke last year. That shot hits the side of the net. And Denver unable to win its one-on-one matchups right now.
That was excellent defense against Morrill, who pushed to the goal hard.
Sowers accelerating around X. Lowry out of the box. Caputo against Sparrow. Owen Caputo gives Duke the lead.
Thought he was their best player a year ago. Coach Tierney said, that guy 13, he's come a long way. A little split right to left from the wing. Defense, he creates enough angle that this bounce shot goes in far side. The first lead for the Blue Devils.
Turner Upgren relieved Mike Adler in goal for Duke. He has stopped 11 of 15. And you want to point to when this Duke comeback started? It started with a goalie change.
Graduate student out of Minnesota. 5'8". Got a lot of starts. I mean, he started, 18 games, I think, coming into this season?
25.
Lefty. 25. Okay, well, it was 18 prior to last season. His brother was a goalie for Richmond. Coming off the bench, you got nothing to lose. I mean, I think it's so fascinating to deal with what he's been dealing with. I mean, you got a transfer who comes in and takes your spot and starts in the season opener. Like, you can mope, you can be down. But I got to tell you, Anish, this year of all years, you stay the course. Test negative on Monday, test negative on Wednesday. Stay clean. You're going to get a shot this year. I guarantee it. And, don't ride the wave of the highs and the lows. Just, test negative, keep practicing well, and things can work in your favor.
Flag is down.
99, face-off violation, 30 seconds. 99 white,
Third face-off violation
30
on Duke. That's big now. So for every subsequent face-off violation against Duke, Denver will have a 30-second man up.
Stathakis was the story of the first half. Really total domination. It was 11-2. Denver face-off advantage first half. Second half, I think they're up 7-4 in draws.
Denver, though, has struggled with the extra man. 1 for 5 today, 1 for 8 last week against Utah. Hannah's pass intended for Walker. It's a turnover.
Excellent
In the second
sticks in the
half, the
passing
wheels
lane.
have come off.
Excellent sticks in the passing lane. I think Duke got a piece of that, and then Walker tried to make the difficult deflected catch.
No flag. Kyle Smith has it. Now we get a whistle.
Who's got here? Who's got here?
A loose ball push.
Here we go, D! Umbrella! Get him! Tune up!
Brennan O'Neill now. Popped loose into the air. Great defense by Logan. That was the veteran showing the greenhorn. Sowers out of the scrum, and we get a whistle.
The timeout, John Danowski. Sharp.
Salvaging the possession.
Still got it, Coach Dino. Still got it. Think about a career that dates back to coaching high school level. C.W. Post, he was the assistant to Tony Seaman back in the early 80s. From there, he moved to Hofstra. Seemed like he coached at Hofstra forever. And then he's reinvented himself as the skipper of this Duke team, 3 national championships. And a lot of
199 wins at Duke.
And a lot of good stuff off the lacrosse field, though, Anish. We've witnessed him. I mean, he is a holistic leader. He's going to make you a better person. He's going to make you a better student. He's going to advance your life. It's not just about putting the ball in the net with John Danowski.
One of the coaches that also always seen every in the country, and people will talk.
Bricks along the way. I mean, he doesn't mind losing games. I think sometimes he likes losing because he knows that practice the next week will be great. I mean, I honestly think there's times that he wants to lose these February games. Well, the guys haven't been practicing well this week. Well, let's punish them. I don't mind taking an L. He's not afraid of the early L. He knows that he gets response.
Denver in his zone. Caputo, too high.
Sowers glancing at the shot clock.
10 seconds. Sowers dusting Squires. He falls down. And he stepped into the crease.
Grass.
A heck of a move.
Isn't that new? Is that new for Sowers? Grass? Is there any grass in the Ivy League?
They played on the, what was it, the AstroTurf? It wasn't the AstroTurf.
Cornell? No. Yale? No. Princeton? No. Penn? No. Harvard? No.
We come up on 5 minutes to play. To the wing. Morrill. Push back. Duke Shorties have done a great job. Oh, we'll get a flag, though. Lindsay a little too aggressive. It hasn't
free
mattered
go
so
for
far,
Hannah.
though.
It's a free go
It is a
here.
free
You get
go.
the flag down, so take a chance here. Dive bomb this if you have to.
Hanna. And Carpenter vacuums. Well, Denver's going to have to do something with the man up. 1 for 6 today, 1 for 8 last week. They've had opportunities.
Now, look, Hanna took a shot there, and he doesn't look like he's whole here. He's going to have to come off the field. Again, your best scenario is Morrill behind the goal, Walker on that far lefty wing. It's a Lindsay penalty, gets him in the chin. The flag's down, trying to make a play. I like this. You open yourself up there for that rib shot.
So again, the 6-on-5 for Denver. Walker backpedals, plays it to Morrill. Reed Babcock in there, number 4. Kotler.
Need a skip. Skipper
it hasn't been there.
Find the lane.
Less than 20 seconds. Back to Kotler. Now Walker with 10 seconds on the man up. On the doorstep, Babcock could not convert. Scaglione lost it on the clear. Erickson came away with it. Ambushed. Scaglione, redemption. Here's O'Neal. Batted down by Hagelin, loose on the crease, and Thompson covers. Wild sequence. Denver back the other way. And they slam on the brakes.
That was awesome. I love that. That's what we were waiting for. That play right there. That was awesome. It was so imperfect, it was awesome.
The chaotic beauty of lacrosse. It's been good to have lacrosse back, and we've got a great finish. Duke and Denver, a 1-goal game. Denver on the attack with loose ball. Interference. Shot clock resets. It'll stay with Denver. Now Duke's defense has not yielded an inch in the second half. Denver shooting 2 for 21 since halftime. Upgren's been a big reason, so have the guys in front of him. Morocco took one to the face by Lindsay, no call. Walker trying to bounce pass, stolen away. Here's Jake Caputo. 2 minutes to go.
See how Denver plays this now. How aggressive are you on defense here? 60 to go in the shot clock, 150 to go in the game. You don't have to be super aggressive. Play this normal. You're not chasing anything yet.
Here comes Walsh. 1 timeout for Duke. Denver has 2. If you're Duke, how aggressive do you want to be here?
You'd love to get a reset. You get a reset, you practically win the game. John Danowski sitting on a timeout as well.
Walsh will come at Kyle Smith. He loses Smith. Walsh shoots, and that could be the dagger.
You talk about depth. Riley Walsh played a ton when he was a freshman. Almost the forgotten man today. Who's got the ball in the penultimate possession of the game? It's Walsh. Making a play from the wing. He's always had absurd amounts of confidence. I mean, this kid He's the guy, Anish, that we had lunch with, Kark and I, when he was a freshman. He took us around. We're looking at him like, this kid's acting like he's 22. He's a second semester. And you see that confidence on a play like that.
40 career goals coming into this season. He's a fifth year. Denver wins the faceoff. Huge. Stathakis lost it. Brennan O'Neill's done a nice job a couple of times on the ride today. Now Hannah. Pio's down 2. They've got both timeouts. Ooh. Trail check. Duke's got it. Carpenter.
Now you want to find Sowers.
Save Thompson. Garrett Ledman. They just had to run out the clock.
Exactly.
Leishau has it. Final 20 seconds. Sowers will play keep away. Catch me if you can. And a timeout by Duke. Quint. Duke's first 6 goals. The hit we saw Duke
To the face, who's Carolina.
Tierney. We were talking with him. How do you game plan Duke and Carolina? And he said after the Utah game, he didn't like the way his team played. He said, we're worried about Duke, and then we'll go from there. So we'll see what kind of team comes out Sunday in Chapel Hill. But that is quite the gauntlet. A couple of championship weekend caliber teams. Duke certainly preseason number 1, well-deserved. As this game is worn on, the pieces fitting better and better.
Look at Sowers. Great speed. Agility, change of direction. You better have your ankle tape on.
Ball game ends with the ball and Michael Sowers' cross. A goal and 3 assists in his Duke debut. A hat trick for the much hyped Brennan O'Neill as advertised in his freshman debut. And the unsung hero, Turner Upgren.